Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Xavier. Welcome to All the Way Driven TV. Today we have a special guest, Brandi. Not the singer, but the white girl version. So, well, let me ask you this. Who is your target audience?
My target audience is teenagers.
Okay. From like what age to what age?
About 13 to 18, 19.
So you said high schools. Why high schoolers?
Because I had a lot of struggles in high school, so I can identify with the struggles that other young people are going through.
Such as, what kind of struggles did you endure?
Everything from self-esteem and body image to peer pressure, bullying.
So what was your image in high school, like compared to the rest of the...
Well, I went
Was it with everybody, girls, boys, or just everybody?
Everybody, even with the teachers.
Okay.
I mean, I saw how teachers interacted with students, students interacted with teachers, how parents interacted, and a lot of people judge people based on how they looked, and so you ended up feeling really insecure in your environment, and it led to...
Now, some of your flaws growing up, what were some of them?
Oh, so many. I mean, I grew up in a school that was skinny, blonde. That was what's popular, and I'm not skinny or blonde. I got the big curly hair, the crooked teeth. I was 5'11", so taller and bigger than most of the girls.
You was 5'11" in high school?
Oh, yeah. I've been 5'11" and since I was probably 14 or 15.
Wow.
My brother's 6'8", so... young. 13, 14.
Golly.
Yeah.
But so you was always tall for your height, but
always.
She was like... So you was taller than probably most dudes in high school.
Oh, yeah. I was the second tallest girl in my school.
Good gracious. Okay, I can dig. So, from your high school days well, let me ask you this question. Where did all this derive from? Like, first experience, you saw somebody?
Well, when I was 12,
okay.
I got invited to speak at a memorial event.
Okay.
So I was in grade 7, and a young boy had been killed in an accident involving a gun, and they needed someone to speak to the school and the parents as a memorial, and they invited me, and I told a poem that has changed my life, and I still remember that poem.
What's the name of the poem?
It's Paintbrush.
Is it long?
It's pretty long, yeah.
You still remember it?
I remember most of it, yeah.
So did you read it or you memorize it?
I read it off of a card because I was 12 and I was very, very nervous. It was 500 people watching me.
500?
Yeah.
So it was at the memorial service, or?
No, they had a memorial especially for the school so that us young people could understand what had happened.
Because 12 years old, you're in 7th grade.
Yes. Just before graduation, because we had elementary and then high school. And 7th grade was your graduation from elementary.
Not 8th grade?
We didn't have middle school, no.
Oh.
Canadian.
So y'all just went from 7th to 9th?
7th to 8th. We had 8th, but 8th
so
was
8th
in high school.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So we had 5 years of high school.
Now, I know in Miami, where I'm from, it go all the way up to 6th grade is middle school, and the 7th to 8th is middle school.
Yeah, we don't have middle school.
12th is high school.
Well, we didn't have middle school back then. Now some of the schools in Canada do.
Wow. So what? Why don't you have a Canadian accent?
Because I'm from the West Coast, we sound like everybody else on the West Coast. No, I'm serious. You go to the East Coast, they have the boots and the...
But the West Coast is like California West Coast. So there's no West Coast in Canada.
Yeah, well, I sound more Californian than you do.
I'm not from California, though.
I know, though, but you're just saying, why don't I have an accent? You're the one who has an accent here.
Really? You think I have an accent?
A little bit more than I do, yeah.
What do I sound like I'm from? Well, if you didn't know.
Well, I wouldn't say that you were from Louisiana or wherever. New Orleans? Where are you from originally? New Orleans?
Miami.
Miami, okay. Florida.
You know what people from New Orleans sound like? They have
very different, yes.
They have one of the most unique accents. You can't deny when you hear that.
That's true.
That's interesting. Okay. Miss Brandi, what else do I want to ask you? What do you want to share as far as maybe the woman, I guess one of your best friends? The one had been raped, did you mention before? Oh,
my inspiration?
Yes.
My biggest inspiration in my life, and the one who really started me kind of on this journey of wanting to speak to high school students, was a young woman who had been molested, raped, abused, had every bone in her body broken, spent 6 months in a coma, with all of her body just completely shattered. And
how did that happen?
You don't want to know. It was pretty graphic. It was very graphic. But if anyone personally wants to know, they can email me and I can let them know exactly what happened. But it's a little too graphic to share out loud, yes. But she overcame it, and she now volunteers for 3 jobs, works 2 jobs to support her family, and she's one of the fastest runners in all of Brazil because she's had great mentors. And I'm proud to say she's one of my best friends and my inspiration.
So how did you encounter her? Like, how did that?
I played the guy I was dating in Brazil when I was 17. He played basketball, and she was one of the basketball players at the same gym.
Oh, wow.
So we just became friends.
You are still friends to this day?
Best friends to this day.
How many best friends you got?
A lot of them. But hers is the
only
number
have
one.
Like, I can't understand when it's like, oh, Brandi, Christopher, James. Like, you're only supposed to have one best friend. You have like one really good friend, and then you have one best friend.
No, because when you have a million life experiences, like I've had in the last 10 years, you bond with people on a level that nobody can understand. And they become the closest people in your life. So.
Okay, I can dig that. Interesting.
Thank you.
It is very interesting. What else do you mind? Okay, like as far as where are you in your career now?
Well, I've been speaking to different schools and organizations and been invited to do some inspirational storytelling. But now I've got a program called the Powerful You program, and it's all about finding the power within yourself to overcome anything.
Okay, so it's just about self-esteem issues.
It's about everything. It's overcoming bullying, violence, depression, abuse, all building your own self, the power within your own heart and your mind in order to overcome anything that you...
So when did you graduate high school?
2002. So I'm 29.
2002, and we're now in 2014. Do you think issues have changed as far as teenagers and high schoolers, or are they just the same?
They've changed maybe a little bit with the introduction of social media because it wasn't as big back then.
So is it worse now, or...
Oh, yeah, it's definitely worse. It's easier to target people. But we all have the same issues. And
internet bullies.
Yeah, that and the fact that people go online just to promote, oh, I went and did this because they want to sound popular.
Right. So people pretty much seek the same type of attention, the wrong attention.
You talk to my grandparents who are in their 80s, and they still have the same insecurities that I did when I was in high school and that young people now have.
Would you call that like a generational curse, or is that a fair statement?
No, I don't think it's generational. I think it's just all of us. For some reason, we have this self-doubt, and it manifests itself maybe in different ways through social media or whatever, but we've always had kind of an insecurity, no matter where or what we did in life.
So you had bullies growing up. Was there one person in particular that you remember picking on you, that you want to say to them right now?
No, because he knows. He knows who he was. And,
it was a dude.
It was a dude.
Did he like you? Is that the way he expressed his love for you?
I don't know. We hung out a few times, but I actually got...
As an adult?
No, in high school after
he picked on you?
Well, because I did something to him that was pretty horrible, because I can cry pretty easily on command, and he was picking on another kid in my class, and I started fake crying and pretending like it really upset me. And my girlfriend knew what I was doing, so she was laughing, but he felt so bad, because he wasn't a bad guy. He just thought to be popular you had to be a bully. And so he came over and apologized to me and apologized to the rest of the class, and from that day on, he changed how he treated me.
Just you. So he treated everybody else like that.
I think he learned his lesson a little bit.
Diana.
He's now a good guy, and he's got a couple of kids, and he knows who he is.
Catch that. You got any kids?
No, I do not.
What you waiting for?
I want to adopt kids that need a good home.
First?
No, later on, when I'm with someone who I want to spend the rest of my life with. He may be in my life already. Who knows?
Okay. I haven't got nothing to do with that. So, since you're from Canada, you know Drake?
No, I do not know Drake.
Who else is famous from Canada?
Justin Bieber.
Oh, Celine Dion is
Celine
Canadian.
Dion, yeah.
That's it, right? Canadian?
What?
Canadian, is that
Canadian.
Right? Canadian.
Yeah. There's lots of Canadians. Jim Carrey.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
But he's Americanized.
Howie
like he's
Mandel.
born there and raised in Canada?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I felt like I knew that, but I didn't really...
No, there's lots of us. A lot of sports players and everything that are Canadian.
Right. I mean, Canada and the U.S. is like right next to each other, So, you told me off camera that you were able to visit 22 countries?
Yes.
Name like 10 of them.
10 of them: Belize, Honduras, Brazil, China, Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, Suriname, Guyana.
And this was all like work-related stuff?
Russia, yes. Yeah, all for work.
Do you need like multiple passports, or is just one passport?
Just one passport. Multiple visas in that passport.
What does that mean? What is a visa?
You get a visa stamp from a country. You send your passport to their embassy, and they decide whether they want to have you in their country, and they'll give you a visa. It's a stamp that allows you to enter.
So they got to send it back to you before you can.
Yeah, before you travel.
So if I wanted to go to Brazil now, I already need a passport, but you need to send something to them, and they got to send it back before you can go.
Well, you send it to the embassy here in Los Angeles. There's a Brazilian consulate here, and they'll stamp it. But it takes up to 6 months to go to Brazil, for example, because they're hosting FIFA this year and carnivals right now. So a lot of people want to go. And Brazil's economy is doing really well too. So it's a more of a developed country. So what's the last place you've been to? The last place I went, besides America, I think it was Puerto Rico.
So technically you stay in Canada still?
I live in Vancouver, Canada.
That's on the west. That's on this
West
side,
Coast.
straight up.
Yes.
Okay.